Hello everyone, today I want to tell you about a way you can get a Thai marriage visa without having to show the bank statements for 400,000 baht like usual. This is called the non-immigrant O visa to visit your family or visit your Thai spouse. It's only available in Savannakhet, so you cannot process it in Vientiane or any of the other Thai embassies, only in Savannakhet. It's good for 90 days, but you can extend for an extra 60, and with a multiple entry, it can be good for the entire year. So I went ahead and researched some reports on this just to make sure that I was able to find a recent report that it's still good. I found one from December 2022. I read his trip reports, looked at all the documents that he needed, everything that he did, and I used this as my guide to make the process happen. This is the accurate list of documents that you'll need. Now, as there was no bus from Chiang Mai to Mukdahan, I had to fly directly to Ubon Ratchathani, where I then had to take a bus. Of course, I had to go to the park and get a workout in between these trips, as I like to stay active while I'm traveling. Always good to keep moving and never stay still for too long. After a nice workout at the park in Ubon Ratchathani, I went to the bus and got a about 4-hour bus ride to Mukdahan. Upon arriving in Mukdahan, I thought it was a nice, quaint little town on the river. I got in, took a shower, relaxed for a bit, and realized everything was closed by 6 or 7 p.m. Luckily, I was able to find one restaurant that was open until 8:30. It was called Saigon Kitchen, pretty good Vietnamese food. After I enjoyed some food and a beer there, I was also able to find a really nice little bar that had lots of good craft beer, a really good setting. Not sure exactly what it was called, as my Thai reading skills are not what they once were, but definitely worth checking out if you're in the main area of the town and you need somewhere to relax for the night before processing your visa. The next day, I woke up nice and early, about 7 o'clock, got a tuk-tuk that was able to take me in to the Thai-Lao Friendship Bridge. The tuk-tuk charged me 200 baht, which I thought was a little bit pricey, but it was about 7 or 8 kilometers away, and it was pretty much my only option, so I took the ride. I got to the bridge about 7:30, at which point I had to go through, fill out my departure card, and exit the country. Once you leave the country, you get on a bus to cross the bridge, crossing over the Mekong into Laos. This bridge was packed full of people, way more people than there were seats, but luckily it was only about a 5-minute ride, so it wasn't too uncomfortable. Once you get off the bus, you can go directly to the visa on arrival window. If you opt to pay with dollars, you can pay $40 plus 200 baht. If not, it was 1,800 baht plus 200 baht. A tuk-tuk driver offered me a ride to the Thai consulate for 300 baht. After checking and seeing it was only 3 kilometers, I tried to talk him down, but my subpar negotiation skills only got him down to 250. I arrived at the Thai consulate at 8:30 and it was absolutely packed full of people. Within about 30 minutes, the sun came out and we were no longer in the shade and everybody was dying of heat. If you have to wait here, be smart like this man, bring an umbrella. I waited in the sun for about 3 hours to finally get inside the consulate, at which point panic struck when I realized I forgot to make a copy of my Lao visa. Luckily, since this day was incredibly busy, they didn't ask for it. They seemed to just be rushing people through as quickly as possible. So one benefit to going on a Monday is that if you forget some paperwork, they're not quite as picky. While waiting at the counter, he did ask me for my bank statements, but then quickly said never mind and went back to reviewing my paperwork, so it must have just been a mistake on his part. I did not need to show any bank statements for this visa. They gave me this slip with no further explanation, but luckily I knew to come back the next day at 2 p.m. I stayed at the Avalon residence, which was decent at best, but for 500 baht, it was not a bad place to stay. I also found a really cool gym called Fit Factory that was right up the road. Easy walk, great equipment, very nice. I was able to go there for a workout both that evening and the next morning before going to pick up my passport. Now, although you're supposed to come sometime between 2 and 4 to get your passport the next day, I learned from the day before it pays to be early. My tuk-tuk driver brought me up at 12 o'clock. I put my bag next to the door inside the little shaded area. And my tuk-tuk driver was so nice, he let me go across the street and eat while he waited and held my spot. Came back at 12:30 and there were already well over 20 people there waiting and plenty more filled in the next half hour, so come early. Luckily, nobody made an issue about me going back up to the front where my bag and my driver were holding my spot. A couple of other people also had drivers hold their spots in a similar method like this. However, it was a very long time of waiting and the line got very, very long, very, very early. Many people tried to come early and it was packed, and unfortunately most of those people were waiting out in the sun. Only about the first dozen or so people will fit inside the little doorway in the shade. The rest of the people are out in the heat. While waiting, I actually witnessed a few people get in a physical altercation about the queue and where people's spots were. So yeah, tempers flare in the heat. Best to come, hold your own spot, be early, just to be safe. I was able to get out, get my passport no problem, and I was back in Thailand within 30 minutes.